So now we're going to talk a little bit about our neurotoxins. So we use the brands Botox and Dysport. And can you tell us what is a neurotoxin?
And yeah, neurotoxin is a cool little molecule that targets receptors on muscles. It's not only the muscles of the face, but we use it the most to address movement in the face that will eventually cause wrinkles or fine lines.
Right, so it's going to like relax this muscle right there.
Exactly.
I can't do this. I don't get that wrinkle.
Yeah, so the majority of the areas like that are targeted with any kind of toxin is the upper third of the face, so crow's feet, the 11s, and the forehead lines. There's other areas that we can treat with. Just depends on what the result that is wanted, and if it's a movement, then it would be treated with neurotoxin. If it's loss of volume, then it would be filler.
Right.
Because it's an injectable, again, after a treatment, you could have a little bit of redness. There's always a little bit of bleeding that happens when you use a needle. Could be some bruises, but it usually lasts very little time. During the treatment, you should expect 20 to a half hour would take, depending on how many areas we do. And yeah, there's minimal discomfort with this one. It's
I find
really
it feels
fast.
like a mosquito pick.
Right.
It's Botox is a really easy one.
After the treatment, you could put some ice. It's usually not required. But again, no exercise that is going to make you sweat. You don't want to sweat out the product. You want it to really paralyze the muscle.
And Botox is a bit different than everything else in the sense that you don't want to be bending down, right?
Right. You don't want the product to end up in the skin. You want it to stay in the muscle.
Yeah.
You can exercise the muscles afterwards. It can help absorb the product. And the effect should last. It kicks in about 2 weeks, depending on the product, depending on the person. Some kicks in a little sooner, but most at 2 weeks we can reassess for if we need a touch up or effort. If at 2 weeks you're happy with what you see, that's what you're gonna have for an average of 3 to 4 months.
Because you gotta find that kind of perfect recipe.
Exactly.
For you.
Exactly. If it happens in one try, great. But it can happen that you need a little touch up because there's a movement that you don't like, or there's an area that is paralyzed that you don't like it paralyzed. So we can try and address that at the follow-up. Yeah, and the same thing applies for after treatment, is avoiding alcohol too quickly after. 24 hours is kind of the golden timeline for alcohol. Again, NSAIDs, fish oil supplement is another one that can cause bruising and swelling. And no makeup for at least 4 hours after.
Right.